Praise, man. I saw the stream.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck! Hi,
What
Praise.
happened, bro?
Howdy, guys. How's it going?
It's going all right, man. So I saw, first of all, I saw the stream where somehow you were, I don't know what was going through your mind, but in the moment, inexplicably, you thought it would be a good idea to give Darth Dawkins admin abilities to your YouTube channel. Is that correct?
I did.
Yeah. So that was insane. And then
Oh, could he like
Darth,
delete videos with that power and stuff?
No. He just has basically chat privileges and really just stream where you can block people in the stream. That's about it. Yeah.
okay. So, and then what happened? What did Darth do with those admin privileges, Bryce?
He went on a blocking rampage, and it fucking pissed me off.
Yep. And
Did you expect?
how many people did he block in just one session?
At least 10. At least 10.
So there's okay. So hold on a second, because I heard you yesterday said it was 30.
I mean, it was a lot. I think it was 30 around that. Yeah, I said it's around that. Yeah.
First of all, praise. I'm not talking out of my ass, okay? Right? Look, I know what you said already. I've recorded it already, right? Don't come in here and tell me that it was like 10 when you and I both know that you said and think it was 30, okay? I hope this is the last time that I ever have to mention something like that again. Just be real with me, okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a lot. Like, I don't know. I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right. 30. Yeah.
Okay. So it was 30, right? And you had to go and unblock, and undo all that damage, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, subsequent to that stream, I saw you do 2 streams where you were very critical of Darth, right? Now, what's really crazy is that you've known Darth for maybe 5-6 years at least,
Yeah.
and it took this instance to realize how toxic he was. Is that correct?
To that level, yes. I always knew he had a weakness with some atheists, but I didn't even know. This is the first time I really learned it was against Christians too, and that just completely just took me by surprise. I don't know. I didn't know how to react to that because, I mean, there are
You were
atheists
surprised.
out there. Yeah.
You were surprised. You remember the last time you were here, I directed you to an entire playlist of him having these types of on my channel. There's an entire playlist of him versus Christians, and he to slip your mind.
Wow. It must have slipped my mind. Yeah, I wasn't really 100%. I think I probably, by passing, I must have glossed over that. Yeah.
Ignored it. You wanted to. I think you wanted to remain blissfully ignorant and enjoy the Darth kickings that you were enjoying so much, except when it happened to your channel and the people that you're friends with, that you took issue with it. Is that correct?
Not 100%, but close. Yeah,
Close.
Okay. Now after that, because I saw you 2 streams criticizing him. One stream was a lot, and then the next stream was even more. And you're saying things that basically you're not going to really be able to recover from in Darth's eyes, right? Said some things that are really going to piss him off, right?
I don't give a fuck about what he has to say.
That's the thing, though, right? If Darth left the stream and he went home and he sleep, and you undid all that stuff, that's not enough to make you say what you said, right? Because you saying what you said implies that you knew that there was no coming back from it, right? You already knew that. So it must be the case that in between those events, you talked to Darth. You talked to him, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it didn't go well, did it?
No, it did not go well.
Right. How is it the case that I can know all these things without knowing, not being privy to any of them?
Well, like, I guess you've done, like, over years, I guess you profiled him pretty well. I think you know him better than I do.
Not only that, but I know I've profiled you, and I know that you talked with them, right?
That's true.
Right. So, on what platform did you have these messages going back and forth, or did you do it in voice?
Well, it was Clubhouse, and we did talk in voice too in Clubhouse. We had a private discussion, and he's just a little bitch. He can't handle any criticism, constructive criticism. I mean, like he should be at least be aware that the Bible is, it says the stuff that he's doing is not right, and the Bible even declares that, and like he just shrugs it off
You,
because it's about him, his little bitch made little groupies that are with him. So
you
screw
know,
him.
you're not the first one to tell him he's a little bitch.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah.
whose idea was it to have a private conversation? So
It was
if it's
him.
on
He
Clubhouse,
actually
I would guess it would be him because you're
yeah,
not
he
normally on here.
contacted me. Yeah, because I texted him. I said, man, you got to take authority and accountability sometimes. He just wrote like a 3-paragraph thing how he's the victim and how I'm not a competent moderator and all this other shit that he tried to put on me. And I said, okay. Then he asked me to talk to him in voice, and we did. And like it just he wouldn't even let me talk in the freaking voice either. The same shit he was doing when I was. He just does it over and over. He doesn't stop. Like I don't know. I think he's a hopeless case. I don't know, man. I
No,
hope that he.
no.
Yeah.
Do you know what he was saying over and over on
He's
the
not
stream
hopeless.
in question? He was saying that he's open to criticism, right?
Bullshit.
As long as you're not like insulting and getting out of line. You must have been getting out of line, Chris.
I don't see how I
Because
was because I generally reproved him and rebuked him. I was nice to him. My first stream, I was trying to be gentle with him and cordial, and he took it. He says I threw him under the bus. No, Tom. I mean, just be honest, Tom. Did I throw him under the bus the first? I don't know if he's seen the first stream or not, but I don't think I threw him under the bus. Did anyone see that first stream?
Yeah, I was there and you licked his
House
balls a lot.
cleaning, house cleaning and whatever. It's something like that.
no, yeah. I think that you. I mean, look, are you asking from like my perspective? I think yeah, you kind of did.
Really, I
I
threw
mean,
Darth under
it
the
was.
bus.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by throwing? I mean, what I observed is you just like openly criticized him, and that's what is that what you mean by throwing under the bus? I don't even know what you mean.
Well, that's his terminology. Like, I guess that I disparaged him or something. There's no, even me and Veckel, we publicly, rebuked him in a loving, correcting way biblically. And
Okay, so actually I have
yeah.
another question real quick because I noticed I was listening. I was like, I can't believe Veckel is saying these things, right? So that leads me to believe that it's possible that Veckel was in that same call, and at the very least, you relayed some of those messages that Darth sent you to Veckel, right?
No, I didn't relay any of that, just except that I threw him under the bus. That's the only thing I did say.
You threw him under the bus.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he claimed, which I don't think I did. I
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think people, yeah.
well, he just means by that you blamed him for things. He was criticized and blamed for some things, and
Yeah, I
that's true.
publicly excoriated him, which I did not excoriate him. I tried to be loving as a loving correction.
Okay, so how long did this call last?
It was about 10 minutes, and he had a call. He just, put me to a side. He didn't even get like I was a nothing to him because he had some call. So he just uses and abuses people. He's an abuser, narcissist, dick, and I'm done with him. Really, I am.
Okay, it's interesting that this is like a current revelation, but whatever. You're on board now. Now, do you have the messages that he sent you? Can I have
I
them?
do, but I don't. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to release it. But what do you think? I don't. I think that would be kind of lowbrow character. Would you say or no?
I think it would be vindicating.
You don't think it'd be par for course regarding his behavior?
Well, but so that I do like to protect the confidence of people, even though they are low life scum, scum whores or bums. I just don't. I don't know if I should betray the confidence there. I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh yeah. Do you think Darth betrayed your confidence by like booting all your viewers from your own channel?
I know. I don't know, but two wrongs make a right. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's
I think you
immoral.
have an
Like,
obligation to smite demons.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if it's two wrongs, but I think it's something more like justice.
I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, you think about it. Well, tell us more about the call then.
Yeah.
One second. For the record, though, how long have you known Darth?
At least 4 years. I might go
That's
beyond
what I
that.
thought.
Yeah.
It's many years.
Oh, yeah. I followed Darth for a while, even on Discord when he first began Discord, which is a while ago.
Right.
Google Hangout, I think, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you thinking when you gave him admin privileges? Was it like, I'm going to create the Darth and Praise show? I'm going to piggyback off him? What was going on?
Well, sort of. I wanted to bring an audience and atheists, and I thought that he was competent enough to not be a little bitch and not even block really. It was just, the troll atheist that would come in there. Maybe he would have his little temper tantrum. I mean, I was prepared to step in there and handle that. What I was not prepared for is the Christians in my community. They would be victims of his rampage. And that's what I wasn't prepared for. And I thought, we would have a constant flow of people coming in. And I thought that would be pretty cool just to, get the gospel out there and stuff. So it was a bad idea. And I admit that.
Okay.
Yes, it's surprising, given how long you've known him, that you haven't seen him go after fellow Christians in the past, and that pretty much everybody is a troll to him. Like 80% of people are trolls to
That's
him.
true. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I felt sorry for the little fella, the little gremlin. I felt sorry for him. And it's sort of what the same thing I did with Smokey too. Like they're basically two peas in a pod, and I guess people could take advantage of me sometimes. These idiots. He's a narcissist, and maybe I have to work. I think Tom mentioned that earlier that I don't have a good track record with narcissists, but I don't know. I guess trying to be kind to him. I won't do that. I'll have to be more careful who I allow in my community.
Yeah, now that the scales are off of your eyes, do you notice that he just labels anybody that challenges him a troll?
Yeah. He just wants to dominate a conversation, and I think that he wants all these like public accolades or something where people like look at him like, look at the great Darth. He's such an atheist destroyer, and he cares more about his online reputation than serving God. And like so many people, even Veckel mentioned that. Like it's not just me saying that. There's other people. And I thought like eventually he would self-correct himself and learn and mature, but he's not. He doesn't mature at all. And
Let me ask you this now.
Mhm.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, sure, go ahead.
He doesn't mature at all. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, recently we've been talking about. You were talking also about some of my videos and stuff where Matt Slick is asked to, give the support for the first premise of the tag. Now, when Darth was in your room, didn't you bring this up to him, or
I
wasn't it
did.
talked about?
I
Okay.
did.
Now let me ask you: do you think that he gave the justification for that premise?
No, he dodged it. He says, "Well, I don't know really this and that." It was like, and he was trying to get around it. It seems like he tap danced around it. I was really surprised. I thought he would, address it, and he didn't.
He did either, Praise.
Well, I mean, even if that was the case, that I do believe my second part of my argument stands. But I mean, that's up for criticism. And that was a Greg Bonson syllogism anyway. I'm going to get my own syllogism. Screw Greg Bonson right now. I don't even know about this pre-up crap either right now.
No, it's garbage, Praise.
Yeah,
Trash.
I like the evidential approach probably now, because I'm just saying, like, seems like these people that are this pre-up that are so conceited, and like I'm not like, even that Saitem Brunegate is such a dick too. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to change my approach too a little bit.
No, it's more
Very
than being a
appealing.
dick. It's being dumb and bad reasoners.
I mean, like the precept thing is that, I mean, I just take it that the existence of the Christian God is like, necessary as like a theorem of logic, which is derivable from the axioms of logic, right? It's just an impossible task showing that.
Right.
And the precept is so dumb that it has to be backed up with being a dick, with bullying.
I think you're right. Maybe that is it breeds assholes like Darth. And even Matt Yester too is sort of a dick too. I'm just saying, like, and
Sort of.
I don't know the level of Darth, but yeah, I mean, he
That's an
is a dick
alcoholic,
though,
so
for
he has an
sure. Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't feel the same about Matt Yester as I do about Darth, or even Matt Slick for that. They maybe come to similar areas, but they've had different journeys. And Matt is much younger than Darth. And I remember Matt from 6, 7 years ago, a long time ago. He was not the dick he is today, and I still care about him.
Yeah.
I think he's lost though.
I remember in the Bible thumping wingnut days, he was a
Right.
major dick then. My gosh, with
Well,
Andrew Rappaport.
not like he is today.
Really? Wow. Okay. Yeah, he seems to be more whiny than he used to be.
Well, I think also lazy. I think it's a trend that I've seen with Darth over the years. That way back when, in those Google Hangout Bible thumping wingnut days, Darth was more willing to have some kind of discourse,
Yeah.
and anymore, you don't get very far before you're a troll, and he boots you, blocks you. Powers he didn't really have back then.
I agree, and he always tries to, try to coerce the moderator to boot him, to do his dirty work, And I find that sleazy too. He has to exploit people to do his dirty work, and I was part of that, so I see, the error in that. And I try to do show grace and mercy to people because I think, Christ, he exemplified that, and he would prescribe that for us to have mercy, forgiveness, temperance, forbearance on people. And I tried to show that to Darth, but like after a while, but you can't. We're not just a walking mat either. So I'm gonna set distance from him, and he has to publicly change and apologize. If I have any interactions with him again. So, which I don't think he'll ever do. I mean,
Well,
that's
yeah,
like one in a
you just
million.
won't have any interactions with him again then.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid him like the plague. Yes.
Well, the condition is that he apologize, and especially publicly apologize.
Yeah,
That's
and
never going to happen.
show correction and show him that he is talking better with people, having a dialogue with people. It's a two-parted dialogue, not just a domination of him just talking over people. And
I'm
overtaking the argument, the
if that's the
discussion.
condition, if that's the conditions. I'm extremely skeptical of that ever happening.
So am I. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think it'll ever happen, to be honest.
I agree, praise.
But we can pray about it.
You know what would be
Yeah.
interesting is if you challenged him yourself regarding the tag argument. I think that would be good for you to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure what version of the tag he holds to. The preconditions for intelligibility thing, that to me is really shaky. I'm gonna have to look more into that, but that'd be
Well, we can show
interesting.
you.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you're really honest for what you said here today, and
Agreed.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
very admirable.
Well, I'm not, I have my flaws too, and I'm not just like showing Darth
We all
like
do.
he's the only sinner out there or whatever, because I have my own problems. But being an asshole to
Well,
people over and over should be called out. And I'm just saying I'm going to do that. I feel like I'm called to do that.
I mean, I definitely think there's honesty here, and I admire that. I think it's also I also wouldn't call it honesty in another sense. Like, for example, like 2 days ago, you thought Darth was just taking numbers and wrecking atheists left and right, and probably after you had a falling out personally with him, you've probably changed your view on that, right?
Yes, the pre's up especially. But there are points where Darth does score wins over some atheists. I'm not saying all atheists, but there
Oh, for
are
sure.
some. Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, look, I mean, it's not the case that Darth poning atheists on with pre-sub was gonna turn on whether or not you and him were in good standings, right? So, but after you're not friends with him anymore, like your views on his effect, it's like everything changes, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just that was all just your judgment was completely clouded.
Yeah, I mean, even the arguments itself can get clouded because he can convince people that his line of reasoning is valid and it's powerful, it's potent, and that's the only way to look at it. And he's a good manipulator, just like Smokey was. So I mean, I've met two manipulators out there, unfortunately, and two bad experiences. I think it speaks for itself, but I hope other Christians out there learn from this to speak up against these bullies and these narcissists out there that are self-centered, conceited people, and follow Jesus, follow him, Jesus Christ. Don't follow a man. And there's another one that pisses me off too. Is a Darth minion. I forget his name. He's like Oriental guy. I forget. He's a little
Derek Lee?
Derek Lee. Yes.
Derek Lee.
And
Here,
he
watch out.
is
He'll threaten you,
so
dude.
clouded. He is so clouded. He thinks that everything Darth says is like a Buddhist priest, like some type of guru or something. And oh wow, let
True.
me learn. Let me be enlightened, Darth. And like Darth is not what he claims to be. You can you can poke holes in when he is his belief system.
Hey, Praise, what about Matt Adams? Do you have any advice
I
for
was
him?
just gonna say, poor Matt Adams, also captured by Darth's spell. What's
Yeah,
gonna
big
come of
time.
him?
I really am not familiar with Matt Adams. I have to look into
He's a
him. I'm not
student of
sure.
Darth Dawkins at the minute. What
Uh-oh.
would you say to him?
To be well, actually I would say look at more the evidentialist approach, research both sides of the argument, be objective, just don't be biased to one side, and look at Darth's history, his reputation online with people, how he is not graceful to people. He's very belligerent, and just I think all those behavioral characteristics should shed light on if you should take him serious or not. I'm just saying, that's what I would say anyway.
You hear a lot of the gospel coming out of Darth Praise?
Not really, no. I mean, sometimes he'll throw a bone in there a little bit about the gospel, like Jesus this or Jesus that, but then it's just really, really quick. He
It's
really does
almost
not
like
go
it's
to the
thrown in for like the sake of like, see, I did say it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Just like he's just trying to get his you know to get that little port this so people can't accuse him of that. I think it's just
Right.
you know it's a defensive measure. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a self-centered asshole. I mean, that's how else to put it. Yeah, but whatever. It is what it is.
Do you think he's a racist now?
Now, considering his what I found out about him, and yes, I do believe that.
What'd you
I
find out
think
about him that made you change your mind?
that he's sneaky, that you can't trust him, that he's not sincere. So if I think his credibility, taking him being sincere to me is a big problem. And since I can't take him have a legitimate sincerity about himself, then I think there is something there about blacks for sure. Yeah.
Ouch.
And I think that's just, based on his narcissistic traits. And I'm sure anyone that looks at him, any psychologist that has any accreditation would come to that conclusion. I don't want to be like try to do the psychoanalyzing, and gosh, I can't even say the word psychoanalyze. You, I can't even say this stupid
Analyzing.
word. Analyze, yeah,
Analyze it.
Psychoanalysis.
psychoanalyze or
Analysis.
psychoanalyzation. That's the word. There it is. Yeah.
But hypothetically, Praise, what diagnosis would you give him if you had to?
I would say he is a definite narcissist. Um, Depending what kind of narcissist, I know there's several ones out there. I forget the exact labels they give him, but I think he would be more of the ones where he dangerous, where anyone that gets in his way that he'll step on, like that type of narcissist, I would say.
I don't think that really matters so much. I think there's a few different types that I know of. Malignant is maybe the one you're talking about.
Hmm.
There's the covert narcissist, though. There's maybe a couple others.
Yeah.
But
So what these type of narcissists will do is they'll backstab you. They will even murder you, as if you get in their way. And you can't get in Darth's way because like you'll get backlash. Like hopefully he's not a violent one, but I'm saying that could be the case in real life. And that's what I'm worried about. Actually, is if he actually turns on people, if they cross him in like real life or something. What will happen is I don't know. I hopefully he just listens to the Bible or something. Listen to Christ. Forgive your enemies.
If Darth knew you in real life, would you feel for your own safety? Would you worry for your own safety?
After what I've been presented lately with his conduct and character, yes.
Do you think that it's possible? Now, I'm not saying likely his go-to, but do you think that it's possible that between you and him, something like murder could be on the table?
Yeah, if I knew him
Okay.
personally, with
Okay.
like if I was like intimate with, I mean, not intimate in a sexual sense, but I
Right.
mean like in a personal sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You need to go to Facebook. I'm going to need to adjust your privacy settings. Right. We're going to need to. Your location right now is like DEFCON 1. We need to do some adjustments here. We need to protect you, right? You can't be out there, right? Publicly, your personal details. Okay.
Well, I have fake details anyway. I'm not worried about Facebook. So, and that's why I do that. I never put my real details out there because of people like Darth.
And you did already remedy the YouTube admin nonsense, right?
Oh, yeah, I did it that
That's all.
night, in fact. Yeah, after the stream ended, I immediately took it away.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask if he did know you in real life, and he came, let's say, to your house, and you got in an argument, one thing led to another, and as you said, he's capable of. Let's say he did, in fact, murder you. Okay, let's say that's the case. Now, let's say that maybe while that was happening, or shortly after, maybe your sister, what's her name, Olive or something, or maybe your relatives or someone, maybe you had family there, right? Do you think that in his rage, that he would be capable of possibly, because Olive was trying to defend you, she was trying to save your life? Do you think
Right.
it's possible that he could in fact extend that and also murder the rest of your family?
If they pose a threat to him, absolutely. Again, he
Okay.
tries to eliminate anything that poses a threat to him. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, what if, let's say, he goes through, let's say it's a family reunion, your mom, your dad, Olive, they're all killed in Darth's rage. I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
No, I know.
Right?
I know.
And Darth is he's piling up bodies, right? Because he's a narcissist and he's capable of this, and these people are in the way, right? It's almost about to wrap it up. Then little old nanny, little old granny, comes out in her wheelchair. She says, "Oh, I can't let you do this." Do you think he's got it in him, right? Because now, between Darth Dawkins going out your own door, right, blood-stained door, between him getting what he wants, which is to escape after this mass murder, little old granny, that's the only thing in his way. Do you think it's consistent with his character? Do you think it's possible that Darth Dawkins, as you've described, has it in him? Murder Granny to escape?
Only after he interrogated her. So I think, depending on how the interrogation went, where he put her through a line of questioning, based on that, if he found it threatening to her, like to himself, yes. But if he, if she was not a threat to him after his interrogation, then no.
And you're being serious, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's who he can control. He's out to see who can control, and people that don't want to be controlled, like, atheists, they call it out. That, he can't do anything physically violent, so he'll just lash out verbally and act like a little child, adolescent child, having a tantrum. And you'll call people names. I mean, last night I played one in Discord that you had, Tom Jump. There was, Rabbit there, that Tom Rabbit, that he had something going on in Discord, and he was just, give me my mods right now, motherfucker, and all this and that.
Yeah,
And you see what I'm saying? That tantrum is actually, it exemplifies maybe his violent behavior if it was with outside the internet.
Yeah.
Are you saying you suspect that in real life he's violent like this, and potentially even physically violent?
Yes, I think that he has that potentiality where he can go crazy and like snap. I think he can snap, absolutely. And that snap would bring violence. There'd be guns, knives, whatever he would do to his means
Guns,
to
knives.
accomplish his means. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That's serious too. I'm not even like joking. I'm serious
I know.
with that.
I know you're not. I know you're not. Well, there have been previously unsubstantiated claims that Darth is guilty of domestic violence.
Oh yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Now that you are able to reflect and you have your own experience and you seem to be coming up with your own theories, do you suspect that is more likely to be true?
Yeah. Because someone crossed him, he didn't get his way. He's controlling whatever friendship he had or relationship, and he's an abuser. Abso-freaking-lutely, man. Absolutely, I think that's true.
Okay, so let's just think of a hypothetical. Like, the wife says, "I'm gonna pick up some dinner on the way home." Darth says, "Okay, where are you going?" She's like, "I'm gonna go to the Boston Market." She's like, "What do you want, Darth?" And Darth's like, I want the half a chicken, and for my sides, my two sides, I want macaroni and green beans." Now, think about this for a second, Praise. She comes home with not macaroni and green beans,
Yeah.
but mashed potatoes. And do you think that type of disagreement, do you think that incident could potentially lead to domestic violence?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You think that's on the table, something as simple as that, huh?
Sure. Absolutely. Of course, it's on the table. Because whenever he doesn't get his way in his particular way, even has to be in his specific way, that he has a tantrum and he'll snap or lash out. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Even just
Absolutely.
you would think that if that's the case, then Darth is probably more likely to be a Karen in real life, wouldn't you say?
Where he's on people's cases and stuff because they do something that doesn't, fit according to what he likes. Sure, yeah, he would be like a Karen.
My
Yeah.
goodness, wow. Now, let's say Darth goes to Starbucks, or as he goes, I think he goes to Dunkin' Donuts. He loves Dunkin' Donuts. Right?
Yes.
He goes to Dunkin' Donuts, specifies 2 shots espresso, and he comes to learn. He goes through the drive-thru. Let's say he's a block away before he takes his first sip and realizes there are no extra shots of espresso. Right? They messed up the order. Okay. Now, I want you to be serious with me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's possible, knowing what we now know about Darth, specifically you, he turns around, he walks right into the person, he says, "Who made this?" Little Susie, who's 16, money, school. I made it. Do you think he's got it within him to take that scalding hot, misprepared latte and throw it in Susie's face, causing third-degree burns all over her face, neck, shoulder? Do you think he's got it in him to irrevocably disfigure her for the rest of her life because Darth didn't get his extra shot of it?
Only after a consecutive. So if his first rebuke did not work, and she
Let's say this
goes,
is the second time this happened.
yeah.
Let's say this is the second time Susie did this to him.
Mm-hmm.
He told her about it before.
Oh, see, yeah, that's the difference right there. Yes, I think he'd be capable of that. Yeah.
You think he's capable of that? He's that petty that
right, because he takes an attack on him because remember he has to be in control. He's number one. He's the main guy. We're just plebs in his world. You know, we're idiots, dumb imbeciles. And yes, I think he would the second time, not necessarily the first time, but the second time, yeah.
Maybe the first time, like he just spits in her face or something like that.
No, I think yeah, he would just go on a profanity rage, call you motherfucker, and all this. He probably would say something like that. You freaking did this to me. I'm never coming back. And then like he'll just rage and stomp his feet and walk out of the Dunkin' Donuts. But if he came back and it did it again, oh boy, yeah, he would throw it absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think he would throw it, and with the knowledge that this almost boiling latte would permanently maim and disfigure her for the rest of her life? Do you think that he would do that with that knowledge?
Yeah, because it's justified because he got crossed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
He's a narcissist, man. That's how narcissists operate. Absolutely.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Tom, what about Darth in high school? Do you think there were any things, examples like this that could have happened with Darth in a school setting?
It's a good question. That'd be, maybe he was teased or something, in high school or whatever. I'm not sure. An outcast.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't stop thinking about Susie, little Susie.
Like all I
it's
can think
even
about right
better,
now
yeah.
is I just think about Darth in high school and like I don't know what kind of weaponry was available at that time, but what if Darth
The
had some kind
pigtails
of
and
semi-automatic weapon and he had a girlfriend in high school and the girlfriend cheated on him with the jock that had been bullying him. Do you think there's a
Ooh.
scenario in which Darth might take a to school?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think with age, his narcissism would get worse. So I would say not necessarily. I think he would go into a big depression, though. And then after that depression, yes, it would spiral out of control. Maybe, if it happened again at school, then yeah. But the first time, I don't think so.
Well, let's say it happened twice. The second time, you think?
Yeah, so it's after like if it piles on, if it keeps on, if it recycles itself again, yes, I think he would be capable of doing that.
Jesus, man.
I'm sorry to have to revisit this, but I remember there was a bit of apprehension last time you were here. So, do you think Darth is racist?
Oh, you already answered that. He said yes.
Oh, how was I?
Yeah. I think it's indicative of his narcissism that he looks down on people and he has to control people. He thinks he's better than people. I think it fits within his profile. Absolutely.
I can't stop thinking about Susie. I mean, her little
Yeah.
cute pigtails and braces. She's not even a grown up yet, and to do
Well,
that to
Darth
her.
would justify and say, well, she didn't get my freaking drink right, and I'm the customer, and I'm the one that's right, and he would just self-justify it. That's what he does to everyone else.
Once she gets her braces off, her teeth will be
Oh, man.
perfect and straight, but her face will be permanently disfigured. That's unfortunate.
So, has your
Well,
opinion
he's
on that
into...
apologetic? Do you think he's effective, or do you think it's only like smoke and mirrors through moderation?
There is effective points he has. I mean, there are points, I think in a fundamental sense, and, he makes that are decent. But overall, no, I don't think it's... I think it's not a good way to approach it. And yes, he exploits moderators to basically get him over the hump where he's accountable, where he would be, you know, more scrutiny in his point, and maybe even show like his flaws. What he tries to get out of that is through moderators, where he controls moderators, where where they would have to muzzle his interlocutor. So it's all his scheme, it's all his tactics, and I have no respect for it anymore.
Let me ask you this:
Oh, sorry.
if not before, but I mean after, like you now, right? Before someone came to you and they said just made some like, I mean, there's been many claims made against Darth, right? Many of them unsubstantiated, right? They're just alleged claim. But like if someone came to you now, I mean, before you probably would have just dismissed it if someone said like, you know, Darth is something random, like a pedophile or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would dismiss it too. But now, are you more likely to believe something like that? Less
Yeah.
likely to believe something like that, or equally likely to believe something like that?
More likely. It's
More likely. You're more likely to believe. Wow. Okay.
and
More likely.
I guess maybe I was naive. You can call it naive. The other times, or maybe I just chose to block it out. I don't know. It's stupid, but I'm starting to see his character come out more in the woodwork, and he's a dangerous individual as far as giving him any type of power, any type of where his ego can be brought, to stroke his ego. That's the worst thing people can do is stroke his ego. He needs to be brought down a few notches. He needs to be rebuked, corrected, and even disciplined. I think discipline's a good thing with him. I don't ever see him
Wow.
get disciplined. He just whines and cries and gets away with it, you know?
What type of advice would you give other Christian moderators on this platform, YouTube, etc., when dealing with him?
That there's a stringent policy that if he expects and if he feels like he's entitled with something, that is grounds for removal of him in some type of discussion. Because he's not entitled, he doesn't deserve any other privileges over anyone else. Like, everyone else has even privileges. That's all. I mean, I would make that clear that there is a no nonsense policy when it comes to that.
Let me ask you this, because you say you're more likely to believe that claim. Do you think that it's the case, just kind of like your best guess, that there are probably details that we are unaware of about Darth, that if we knew about them, we would be horrified about
Yes.
his character? You think
Yes.
yes? You didn't even stop.
Yes, a
You didn't even
definite
hesitate.
yes. Yeah.
You didn't even hesitate.
No, because it's like it's coming like in my eyes where I can see it nice and clear, and like it's all the telltale signs are there for me. And before it was kind of clouded, but I think I purposely clouded it because I didn't want to believe it, number one.
Right.
And I wanted to hopefully reform. Like maybe I would be some sort of vehicle for him to become more of a productive Christian, a more example of Christ in bringing people, non-believers, to the faith. And I thought that since I showed him that compassion and being nice to him, or kindness, that he would use that and maybe change his viewpoints. But no, not only did he not, he doubled down and even did more, even worse than it was before.
Do you think he is a Christian?
Well, I think doctrinally, yes. But as far as his heart, I think Jesus said it best, that you worship me with your lips, but your heart is far from me. So in his heart, absolutely not. No way. His heart does not. I don't see it at all. But with his
Okay, let's put
lips,
it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it another way. Darth dies, goes to heaven, and he meets Jesus.
Hmm.
Does Jesus say to Darth, I did not know you?
That's a tough one for me, Tom. Man, you're really putting me in a tough one here.
Remember, you said that
Yeah.
he professes with his lips, but in his heart, he doesn't. He's not a Christian. So sounds
In
like
his
he's gonna.
in his current state right now, yeah, get away from me. Absolutely, I would say that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
And that's just a discernment. But I hope my discernment's wrong. I hope that he's there in heaven. I hope he repents. I hope he has a heart change, man. Because I don't want to. I don't want to see him to go to hell or anything. Like I want to see anyone go to
Of
hell. It's
course.
terrible.
Right. Do you think that Darth oftentimes he spends a lot of time um, railing about the atheists, and he's actually almost fixated on the sexual aspects of that. Perversions. Calls us
Yeah.
perverts. Spends a lot of time talking about it, right? Railing against LGBTQ, sexuals. I mean, you think maybe that this is actually a projection, and that Darth himself is extremely sexually perverted?
Yes, I do. I think that's part of the
Okay, that's a
narcissistic
yes.
traits.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it all like if you look at the narcissists out there, there's always some sexual deviancy there. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Um, do you think that potentially he could have homosexual proclivities himself?
Sure.
Okay, that's a yes. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Do you think that's like textbook projection?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right.
So, if that's the case, he spends so much time talking about transgenders. Do you think that it's possible that Darth himself might feel more comfortable in a woman's body?
I've seen transgenders. I mean, a lot of them actually are confused. I believe that are they've been
Never mind the
emotionally
projection. I'm talking about the projection, right? So
okay.
if
The
we're saying he's
projection part.
projecting, if we're saying that he's projecting, right? That's why he's talking
Yeah.
about this so much. It would seem maybe that, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yep. Okay.
the things he's projecting, yes. So you're right. So other things that he's coming out against would be definitely signs of maybe him doing himself. So if that
Right.
included that, yeah, for sure.
Right. So okay. So all manners of sexual perversions on the table, and probably we could do some kind of assessment. Like what he talks about the most is more likely to be like something that applies to him. Therefore, his hatred towards transgenders
Hmm.
would indicate that he has some kind of proclivity himself,
Right.
or is possibly not presenting as such, but Darth himself may be transgender.
Absolutely. If
Right.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it depends how bad the narcissism
Well,
he
it's worse than
has
I thought.
is. Yeah.
It's worse than I thought. Well, it's pretty bad. I actually did some reading into narcissism, and there are several YouTube channels that go into narcissism. And what's funny is that oftentimes they use like Trump as an example of narcissism. But I think Darth is almost like a textbook narcissist. It's like
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh yes. He's glaring
So
to me. He glares out. Yeah, he stands out for sure. After once you see it, you really see it. I'll put it that way. That's the dangerous part because some people might not even see it, like Derek and some other people. But
right, right. Do you think he would hesitate to use Derek Lee for his own advantage, if possible? Do you think he would even hesitate?
no, that's even without question. Absolutely, it's. I mean, you can expect it almost. Yes.
Or Derek, he doesn't even know what's coming.
Do you
He
know Matt
doesn't.
Adams?
He's going to get hurt too. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know
Praise-
Matt. He doesn't know Matt.
Oh, Matt Adams is a, you could call him a new Darth initiate. Maybe you want to forward some advice to him or something?
Yeah. If he is he on Clubhouse?
No, he's in the
or
room right now.
where is he?
Matt, are you there?
Yeah. So, like, one last question about Derek. So, you already said that it's possible that he's projecting, and as you noticed yourself, Derek is very submissive, right, to Darth Dawkins.
That's what he wants. Yes.
Are you? Well, hold on a
Um,
second. What are you saying? Are you saying that it might not just be intellectually something that he wants? Maybe
it's
like in
yeah. It's a
a sexual
perversion.
sense. A sexual sense, you're
Well,
saying?
it can extend to sometimes, like they've shown these psychologists, it can extend to the sexual realm, but they get stimulated. See, the stimulation extends to the sexual part, yes, but the stimulation, when they find that people are, like you know how a woman, like after they've been like a divorce, they are really, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like they're, it's not coming to my mind right now, but they usually can be taken advantage of, and this is what these narcissists hunt for. It's like a lion going after a deer. Like it's just it's just basically that's the nature of their narcissism,
Something wrong?
where they go after these type of people. They hunt these type of people where
Yeah.
they can control. Yeah. So it's like
Do you
it
think that they're?
stimulates them. Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that if Derek and Darth knew each other in real life, and Darth has the proclivities that you said he might have, and if Derek were okay with it, do you think there's a possible world where Darth Dawkins is mounting Derek Lee and saying the words "Call me your ultimate"? Call me ultimate. Do you think that's a possible world?
He, well, that's a good question. Like, I think in front of the public, he would never say that because it would expose him, and that would put him,
No, I mean
out
this is
for
obviously in
scrutiny.
private, though, right?
Privately,
Private. I mean, he's.
yes, yes. I
You
think
think?
there's a
Yes, he thinks. Okay. Okay. Do you think he would even say that, even though it's like blasphemous for in that
Unbelievable.
scenario? In that scenario, to be, I agree. I agree. To ask Derek Lee, when he's presenting his areas to Darth for,
Mm.
sexual purposes, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's passive. Sure, this is what narcissists. You're just covering all what narcissists do, Tom. Yes, of course.
Wow. Unbelievable. That's just unbelievable. Incredible.
Yeah, it's sad. It's just part of the world, I guess. There's a lot of narcissists out there.
Wow. Well, if let's like, how bad do you think his narcissism is? Because like, you're saying that he only cares about himself. Do you think that it's possible that when Darth is in a sexual situation, that he has absolutely no regard for the pleasure of his partner at all?
Only if his partner would give him some type of venerance or something where he's venerated out of it. Yeah, I don't want to get too explicit, Tom, because it's
Right,
kind of getting
right.
into
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
yeah.
I mean, it just seems like, he would just kind of, if he didn't actually care at all other than himself, he might just kind of like do whatever he needs to do to get off. And then if that happened to be the case that they derive some pleasure from it also, so be it. But like he
Right.
wouldn't be thinking of it, right? He's like,
No,
I'm
exactly.
gonna like
Yeah.
do this to like pleasure you, right?
Right.
It seems like he wouldn't do that, right?
Right.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, looks like you understand it pretty well, Tom. Pretty good stuff, man. I'm impressed.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, I mean, you're kind of enlightening me on a lot of this stuff, to be honest.
Because it's like opening my eyes. Yeah. So I was naive, and I purposely, I think, was like that because I did not want to believe it was that bad. So, so people out there, maybe that's a warning sign to you that if it's something that is that bad, it's probably that bad, and not to be naive about it. But it's hard. It really is.
Yeah. One last thing, Bryce. Like, if you notice, like a lot of the people that get enamored with Darth are like young and kind of like the same way I think Jordan Peterson attracts people. They like
Right.
you see him as kind of like some kind of like father figure or something like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think that there's anything like sexual going on there? Maybe even if it's something he doesn't want to like actually act out fully, but like it's kind of like he's dabbling a little bit.
You mean if he's getting off on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure on that. Okay. Okay. Wow. It's worse than even I thought, Praise. You're not joking about anything you said, right? You're just being
No, I'm
honest with me,
not.
right?
No.
Right.
And it's been like it's like a self revelation or an epiphany or whatever you want to call it. It's unfortunate, but yeah, he's a dangerous dude. But he does it depends like his type is like the way his strategy is like. So what happens is he shrouds some of his nasty characteristics because he's a good speaker. And I think he uses that to his advantage to do what he's trying to accomplish. So a lot of smart people are narcissists if you look over history. And I think he's actually, well, maybe he's just a good speaker too. It doesn't mean you're actually smart. I don't know if he's
Right.
actually, rationally smart. I don't know.
Let me ask you one last question, right? Let's say Darth's on a plane, right? And let's say that the stewardess asks him, he's on a transatlantic flight. He's in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, right? He's going to Europe or something. Let's say that he asks for unsalted peanuts. Stewardess brings him back salted peanuts, right? And he says, "Excuse me, miss, but I asked for unsalted peanuts. You gave me salted." She says, "Oh, I'm sorry." She comes back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's possible, due to his narcissism, as you've outlined so far, they would attempt to somehow sabotage the plane to cause it to crash on board by like opening the fire escape or something like that?
No, because that would compromise himself. But if they mean like murder the lady or something,
if he
sure.
thought that he could live,
Um,
Keep in mind, there's
mm,
children, there's women and children on board the plane. Let's say in his overhead compartment he had a parachute.
Yeah. A parachute.
Yeah. And like he's got one of those, you know, those little floaty life boats or something like that. Keep in mind he's in a rage, right?
Yeah.
People aren't always thinking clearly in a rage, right?
I think that would still pose too much work. I don't think Darth likes to do the work. Like he to even put a parachute on, even the risk. I don't think he even likes the risk. So I think to get out of the risk, he would not even do it. But he would yell. He would probably, be belligerent and bully the lady though the whole trip and make it a freaking nightmare for everyone else on board. And listen to his bitching and whining and temper tantrums. So that's how he would
Okay, let's.
inflict, on
You're
other
right.
people.
There's a little bit of tension there because the scenario involves Darth himself being at risk, right? The plane goes
Exactly.
down. Right. Okay, let's just
Yeah.
change it, right? Say that Darth's trying to read some Van Til. Van Til's. So he's reading Van Til's Apologetics. Got his reading glasses on, right? All of a sudden, he starts crying. Looks over, makes eye contact with the mother. She's like, "Oh," she's rocking the baby, trying to get him to stop crying. Waits patiently and says, "Please, can you get that baby to stop crying?" Darth can't concentrate. He's trying to read Van Til's Apologetic, right? Baby just keeps crying. Eventually, she's not doing anything. She's just like playing Candy Crush on her phone.
Right.
She's obviously completely blowing off Darth, saying, "I don't care about you having." Right? Do you think it's possible? Right? It's on the table. Darth takes the baby, opens the fire escape, and ejects it from the airplane and closes it and goes back to reading. It's possible. Do you think he's got it in him?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This is. You know what? Okay, that's way worse. This is way worse than even I thought.
He's a cold-hearted dude. I mean, everything
Do you
is
think? But would
a
he actually
facade.
be cold-hearted enough to throw the baby out the door and then go straight back to reading Van Til's Apologetic?
Yeah, if he owned the plane or something, or if he was in control of the situation, yes.
Wow, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. It's just people, I think, are too generous to him. He needs help. I do believe he needs help with his narcissism. Um, I don't know, like maybe God will do it. He'll help him out. So
What do you think could possibly help him?
a humbling, like where he's put in a situation where he has to, his ego is bruised, or where his ego is put under trial, and or he comes to like some type of epiphany or something where he goes, "Wow, I guess I need to change my ways." And this is I was this bad to people. I'm going to apologize. Something like that. Sort of like the Grinch. Remember the movie Grinch where his heart grew or whatever on the
Yeah.
mountain? And I was thinking a Grinch situation. Yeah.
Wow. Could this humbling, I don't know how it has to happen. Do you think it could potentially, it's possible for this type of humbling to be done in a sexual manner?
No, because that's
No.
carnal, and I think that goes along the lines with his narcissism. So it would have to be something like where he's put in the ghetto, or he's like, let off at like the East Block in LA or something with some black guys, and where like these dudes could smash his head in at any time, but he's forced to stay in their house or something like that, and like he learns to show respect and dignity to other people. And through that humbling process, maybe it'll carry through. It's something like that. I mean, just give me an example.
Wow. Okay. Have you instructed your immediate associates like Olive and Sparrow that
They've
you
already
recommend?
known this. Yeah, they were saying, "We told you, praise." They've seen right through Darth. Yeah.
So they've had their "I told you so" moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a couple of people in here, praise, that have not. John Lee and Johnny Haas in the audience. They're pretty much under the same spell you were, where they want to feed off of him and use him, but they don't know yet.
No, it's to stay your distance from him. Like always keep arm's length from him. I would never get like intimately acquainted with him, because that's where like it's, or just I think it's where that gets him off almost, where that's where he enjoys, or he thinks he can take control of people. So as long as you're arm's length from him, just put him, give space between you and Dart. That's all. He's a sad, sad little man.
John Lee is curiously quiet as a church mouse.
Wow. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. All I can think of now, I mean, all I see in my mind's eye is perfectly straight teeth, but horribly disfigured, burned face and shoulders and chest and neck. It's
Oh
awful.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, in a sort of like a metaphorical way, if you want to say it that way, he's already done that to people. Like if you want to go like any, what's the best way to put this? Like, like in a personal sense, like I think he's burned many people. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm just thinking about like how you're speculating that there's things about Darth that if we were to know about them, we'd be horrified, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Any idea like how like what the ballpark you're thinking?
Well, I think there could be dead animals under, his, um,
Well, that's
what do
not
you call
so bad though, dead animals.
burying dead, well, killing and like torturing animals and stuff. I'm saying that is definitely that's so crazy to say. Like but I'm saying that's type of narcissist where he fits that criteria though, and that's like he fits that mold. But um, under the deck or something, usually people like some of these crazy lunatics, they bury animals' bodies under there.
Human
Um,
bodies?
Who knows? Who the frick knows, Tom? I'm saying that
Some
is
so
definitely
no,
on.
you wouldn't be surprised if you found out if
No,
it came out that he murdered and buried a human under his house. You wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised. No.
You would be surprised a little bit, right, Praise? Like a little bit?
Well, no, shocked in the fact that I knew him or something, but not shocked in the way um, his character is, or how his personal self, how he conducts himself. No, not in that regard.
Not even a little bit. Wow. Okay.
Do you think the root of this could all come from an attraction to his mother? Maybe.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's definitely a mother thing probably going on there.
Do you think it's possible that Darth is a serial rapist? murderer?
No, because he likes controlling people on the internet right now. It depends if you cross the line though, personally, which I don't know how many. I mean, he might be a loner. Like that could be another problem as well.
Yeah, but rape is supposed to be about control, Grace.
That's true. That's true. But I think he's older now. Where I don't think that it would be better. Like he would have to be quick and agile and everything to be a rapist. I mean, you have to be a good athlete,
Okay.
basically. Yeah.
Really? So, okay, let's say that if Darth were in currently better physical condition, do you think he would have a proclivity for serial rape?
Back in his days, where if he was the same person he is back when he was young, yes.
Yes. Okay. It's another. Okay. Wow. Wow. If I told you that within like a 10-mile radius of Darth Dawkins, say 20 miles, there was a jump in missing person, young people missing persons, like
Yeah.
not just one or two, right? I'm talking about 10, 15 missing persons that just vanished. Young people, attractive people. And I said, look, the police came to you, said, Praise, we need, where do we even start, right?
Yeah.
Would you tell them that you would consider Darth Dawkins as a suspect?
Yes, of course.
You
Yeah.
would? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. There you go. If you said,
yeah.
look, I know this guy, he lives in the area, I think you should look into it, right?
He
See
has
if
creepy
he's
behavior. Yes. Yeah.
see if he's like acting weird, follow him around, maybe he makes a trip to the woods for inexplicably no reason every once in
Right.
a while. Now, if you gave the name Darth Dawkins to the cops, right, and they did the follow up and everything, what would you estimate the probability that he was actually the one responsible for the missing persons? Can you put a percent on it?
Yeah. I would say about 40, 60.
40 to 60% that he is
Yeah.
okay. A mass murderer, serial rapist.
Yeah.
40,
Between
40
40
to
and
60.
60%.
And you're not
Yeah.
and you're not joking. You're not joking, right?
No.
You're
If
dead
he's in
serious.
that area for sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, if you're that sure, I mean,
I mean, I wouldn't be like ironclad sure, but I would be confident
just 40 to
he would.
60. 40 to
Yeah.
60. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
what if on the dates of the missing persons, right? If you went and did some looking around, what if on those you found out what dates and times the person went missing, and you said, you know what? Let me just double check something. And what if, let's say that you look up the first few of them, and they coincide with times that Darth Dawkins was not around on Clubhouse. Would that change the percentage? And if so, to what?
That would change it to about 98%.
98%. 98%.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he wasn't around those days, yes.
And you're not joking, right?
I'm not. No.
Yeah. Okay. It's worse than I thought. It's worse than I thought.
Yeah.
98. That's so high. Praise, that's so high. 98%. That's so high.
Yeah, he's a monster in a way that he's underestimated because he buffaloes people with his good speaking abilities, but he's definitely very dangerous, and he's, I think, a predator in some ways. Maybe sexually that's a whole nother story, but he's a predator in the fact that intellectually, psychologically, he likes to manipulate people and be in control of them.
Control. There's that
So
word again. Control.
yeah, it all fits the perfect profile of a dangerous narcissist. That all the sexual stuff, all the stuff out there, absolutely.
Do you think he's ever been pleasuring himself while he's running a room?
I would say that's not out of the realm of a possibility.
Right, but is it more likely?
More likely, depends on his victim. Yeah, like someone like Derek, sure, yeah.
There's a video, it's on my channel. It's of him. There's a 16-year-old Christian girl, and he made her cry. Did you see that one? Praise?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. 16 years old. She just wants to. She is actually aspiring, if I recall correctly.
73 years
to,
old.
No, that's Connie. This is a different one.
Oh.
She was actually aspiring, I think, to do mission work, I think. And he made her cry.
Very cold-hearted, man. Yeah, he's cold-hearted.
Now, considering that she was, dominated by Darth in this discussion, 16-year-old female, and probably controlled the entire discussion. That word again, control, right? Control. Do you think it's possible? Possible, right? That after and during that discussion, he was sexually gratified from that, what he did to that girl?
Yeah, I think there would definitely be a possibility of sexual stimulation, yes.
Okay. Whether or not he, was... But yes, he was... You think definitely... he was... Are you saying he was probably aroused from it?
Yeah, I think that he gets psychological stimulation from doing that to people, and that would extend to sexually as well. Like I think it's all incorporated together. I think it all covers, you know what I'm saying? Like it extends throughout his whole psychology and everything else. So that's why I look at it anyway.
Incredible. Wait a minute. You mean when I talked to Darth Dawkins, I was somehow against my own will, or without me even knowing that I was like participating in some kind of sexual thing with Darth?
It depends. Did he call you names, or did he try to control you? Like,
yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
Yeah, he gets off on that. Yes, you ever heard the saying?
He was getting off on me?
It? Sure. Yeah. He gets off on even anyone that he feels like he's superior. If he gets any type of superiority over, if he feels that superiority complex over someone else, yeah, he gets off on it, and that's the whole thing. Even with Smokey, I seen him get off on with him when he would come in there, and him and Smokey had their feuds, but was really weird with Darth. It was like, ugh, weird.
You know what? Do you think that maybe Darth saw Smokey as like threat? Like it was almost like food aggression. Just like, hey, I want to control these people, get away from them so I
Yes.
can control them. Like I
Yeah.
want to like control them and use these people sexually, right? So like if they're like you're getting in the way of that, you know, so like I just like let me do that to them. You think that's what he was thinking?
Yes, because they're a mirror image of each other. Did you know Smokey is the
Wow.
same exact way, and he was a pedophile. He was charged with that. So, um, yeah, I mean, they're basically two peas in a pod. It's weird how I had to meet both of them. It's so weird.
Huh.
I don't know, man. That's pretty weird to me.
Are you saying that their psychological profile by your lights is so strikingly similar that we can extrapolate like the things that are true of Smokey, like the one you mentioned, I don't want to repeat it,
Mm,
is likely to be
absolutely.
true about Darth? Did you say absolutely?
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yes.
All right. This is man. This is
And the reason why I say that because he's showing his dark heart, very cold-hearted, very cold person, and I've seen it. And I seen it last night, in fact, and it was like it was striking to me. And I mean, some people think that I'm because I'm mad or something, I'm just lashing out against Darth. No, this is all really what I think is coming out to. It's coming to it's exposing itself now, coming out. So.
well. Let this be a record. You're the one making, in my eyes, some bold claims, and so if any of this is ever confirmed, like make no mistake, you are the first to you get all the credit. You definitely get all the credit. So
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't, I appreciate that, but I don't, I just, what I want to get credit for is just trying to bring people to Christ. That's all. So,
right, okay,
it's bound to happen though, man. I'm telling you, this guy is a weirdo, very creepy. He's a creep.
right,
So I don't know if other ones out there listening to it, please do your research on him. Like look through all the crap. Let's look on Tom Rabbit's show. I mean, you have so much on him. All the weird, childish, he's a petulant little child with a lot of his discussions, and I mean, he's not stupid. So I mean, that's what kind of obscures it all is because he's a good speaker and he's actually semi-intelligent, But watch his watch his antics, watch his narcissistic characteristics. And if you look at, and YouTube's a good place. I mean, anyone can look up all the narcissism stuff out there. There's really good stuff out
yeah,
there to be careful with. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think it's, I think there's nothing more to be said. I mean, this is, if what you're saying is true, what you're extrapolating here is true, then this is way worse than anything that I even could have imagined.
Now, be honest, Tom. Like, and only all over the past few years, you've been covering Darth. Did you suspect any of this could be the case, or did you go, "Nah, he's just an asshole, just sort of like some type of crazy theist or something"? What would you say? Like, I would like to know what you think about all. Did you suspect any of this, or?
I mean, I can't I can't put myself at 40 to 60 or 98%. I mean, it's like I couldn't even put a percentage on it. It's like I wouldn't even think of that. I just
Right.
but just like I give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, people allege this, people allege that. You know, I'm trying to work with the facts I got. You know, you in your head, you've got more experience with people with a similar psychological profile, according to you. So, you know, you've got that experience. I don't. I
That's
can't.
true. That's true.
I
Yeah.
can't. I can't. You know, like I said, I had some predictions about like, oh, you and Darth probably talked, you know, off air. I was right about that, but I have that experience. I don't have the psychological profiles you have access to. Right? I can't come up with the same numbers, but you're saying because you do have that psychological profile, you know, you have that knowledge and experience that
Yeah.
that legitimizes your 98% probability, right? So
Yeah, if I knew that he was not there, you know, at his house or clubhouse in that particular parameter of area, yeah, I would put a 98% that he would do it. Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Okay, hey
Smokey
man, you know
was
what?
basically that.
Yeah, like I don't know what else to say. I mean, I guess just I think we covered everything. So
Yeah, we did. That was actually an interesting conversation, Tom. Good stuff. You're a good question asker guy.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I want to get down to the truth, right?
Yep.
Um, and you've got the experience, you know. So you know, I'll think about it a little bit more. I'll think about it.
Yes, watch how cold-hearted he is to even his own, and I think that should be a real red flag for people.
Yeah, when he hears about what we've discussed here today, do you think that he's going to have a negative reaction to what you said today?
I don't think so. I would be surprised. I think he's going to be completely done because I think he knows that I separated myself, I severed myself from him, that I will never be controlled or manipulated by him again. He knows that. So just like Smokey left, he'll leave, and I think he'll leave me alone. So my prediction is no.
Now, you've said some things that no one has ever said about Darth Dawkins, right? Now,
Mhm.
when he does hear some of the things that you've said, will you be paying close attention to how he reacts?
Yes,
Because
yes.
if like, look, if it was the case that you're spot on, right? You would expect him to be kind of like shaken by just being called out so
He's gonna
clearly.
shake it off and play like he'll play it off like it doesn't mean anything until someone brings it up to him. So we need someone to bring it up to him, and then that's where it gets interesting.
How do you think like it should be brought up? Just like someone goes in and says, "Are you secretly a serial rapist, pedophile, transgender, hom- homosexual, non-Christian?" Do you think something like that, or is it maybe too more subtle, or what do you think?
Yeah, it would have to be more subtle
More
because then
subtle,
he would.
more subtle.
Yeah, yeah. Like are you and Smokey Saint or something like that? Like you would have to bring someone like Smokey in, or are you a narcissist like Smokey? You know, something like that, because he knows who Smokey is. So that would be a good one.
He calls him Smoky Snake, right? Do you think that's like
Projection.
self-resentment? Like he sees, you know, it's like he sees something in himself he doesn't like, so he like calls him Smoky Snake.
Yes, it's just a reflection of himself, right? Yeah.
John Lee, did you have anything to input about your friend? Silence.
Silence of the Lambs.
Praise, I didn't hear the whole thing, but do you remember when Tom warned you that this day would come?
Yes, Tom did.
Right.
Look, man, I'm not about keeping a record and stuff like that, right? Come on, Praise. Have I been like harping on like I told you so, and
No, you
this
haven't, and you
conversation?
could do
Come
that.
on,
You could
man.
say you could do that too, and you haven't. I appreciate that, Tom.
No, it's fine. No.
And rub it in and say, "Come on, Praise, you dumbass! Like, how would anyone take you
No, come
serious?"
on. No, I'm not. Come on, I'm not. It's keeping a record, man. I'm not doing that. That's John Lee type stuff. I'm not doing that.
John Lee.
Well, Praise, I mean, I guess we can let you go. You know, I mean, I don't want to keep you here too long, but I appreciate you coming in here and kind of telling us about
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Really appreciate it, actually.
Well, I appreciate you having me, man. And I mean, you know, some people might have to think twice about Darth, and I think that's a good thing. So even at the very least, they're gonna like, maybe I should look up Darth a little bit and check him out. And I think that alone is be a positive. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep us updated as well if anything like changes.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I will. I don't know about
If he,
me giving his private discussions with me because I think that's kind of
think
slimy,
about
but
it. Think about
I
it.
will.
If he does something and like threatens you or something, then maybe that has to come out kind of like because you can say like, look, hey, and look what he's doing.
Yeah, if he talks shit about me, you know, or if he says false shit about me, then I will. I will definitely come back out
Yeah.
and do that.
Well, then we'll just leave it at that. Then.
All right, y'all. It was good talking with you. Take care. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thanks, Praise.
All right,
Have
man.
a, have a great
See you,
night.
man.
All right, see you.
What the fuck?
Wow.
It's like, I don't.
I didn't even hear
I've
it
been
all, and
on
I'm
the
just
edge.
like jaw on the
Oh,
floor.
it's so great.
Here's what John.
What happened to
Can't even.
him? He was on his channel like 2 days ago.
That's what happened.
What? He just realized.
No,
He-
Darth
Yeah, go ahead.
Darth kicked a bunch of people from his channel. Praise got mad. He got into a clubhouse private room to discuss it, and it went really badly. So everything changed then. Jack, did you hear that?
Wow.
No, I missed it. But it sounds hilarious.
Oh my god, the stuff about Derek, I was crying.
I was on the
Well,
edge of my seat the entire time, Tom.
Yeah, this is the best thing that's ever happened on Clubhouse ever.
I can't believe Matt Adams tapped out. He just fucking bounced.
Jack, let's just put it this way, Jack. If Darth hears this, which he will at least hear of it or some of it, there's no chance of them ever being friendly again.
Yeah,
Can we-
he said he's probably a serial killer rapist.
Pedophile.
And 98% pedophile, transgender,
Oh
homosexual.
my god,
So
that's
he's
so
like
School shooter
he's like
too.
Buffalo
I thought
Bill.
that was too
He's
far.
basically Buffalo Bill. Can we end the room soon so I can listen to the replay and also make sure the replays don't get lost?
Oh yeah, we can do that right now. So.
God, that was gold.